Football is
America's
America.
football is America. If you don't like it, you can kiss your candy ass.
For the moment in time. I'm giving 10.
Oh my God.
You loved it.
It's 30 to 27. Chiefs win. Chiefs win 30 to 20.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Only Football Podcast. Let's see. All right. We got a great matchup today between Tampa Bay and fantasy football playoffs finally here. There is a lot on the line from this point on for the rest of the season. Sorry, let me get this. Why won't you stay? Why the hell won't you stay? Why can't you stay there? Are you too good for your home? There we go. Don't even think about it. And now I just need you to turn and boom. There we go. All right. Here we go. We got the one, the only Nash in the chat. What is up, Nash? How are you doing, brother? Happy to have you in here. But like I was saying, with the fantasy football playoffs here, everybody's got a lot on the line, and this is Mike Evans' first game back. I don't know if you guys had the faith to start Mike Evans in his first game back. He was reported to be questionable, and then when they said, no, he's actually going to play, but it was going to be limited. I don't know what limited, are we talking 10 snaps? Are we talking about, it said limited, but he played the whole game. I don't know. And there's some fantasy teams where you didn't have the luxury of benching Mike Evans and being like, I'm not going to risk it. There's other teams that had to, okay? Fortunately, I'm not one of those teams, but I do understand they're out there, and I wish you the best of luck. 1st and 10, Kirk Cousins coming out, and he's going to start off by handing it to Bijan Robinson. And Kirk Cousins, somebody who's had a ton of success against the Bucs. And when you think about last year and whatever happened with Kirk Cousins mentally, I'm not sure, but he ends up getting benched because he played so poorly, but not against Tampa. He swept the Tampa Bay Bucs last year and threw for like 725 yards combined between those two football games. So it will be interesting to see what Kirk Cousins we get for this game tonight. But I'm excited. 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain from Robinson. They're going to go right back to Bijan, and Bijan picks up a hard-fought 10 yards. And just like that, Bucky Irving and Bijan Robinson both picking up first downs on their opening drive. Let's see. Yeah, Brian, I got some bets in. Brian Robinson, 10 yards rushing in the first quarter. I also have Bijan Robinson with 10 yards receiving in the first quarter. And here's Kirk Cousins' first throw, and it's complete. And it's Kyle Pitts, who I have on my fantasy. I have him on my fantasy, and I'm in the playoffs. I didn't even realize I have a player in my playoffs playing right now. Kyle Pitts. I have started him, and it would be really cool if he just went off and got 20 points today. Speaking of Mike, he needs to average 215 yards for the next 4. You want to know what's funny is I actually was thinking last Sunday, I'm like, I wonder what Mike Evans would have to average to keep his record. And You did the math for me. Thank you. 215 yards, not impossible. I'll say that. Is anyone else a little weirded out by the lack of white jerseys in this game? I'm actually okay with it. But maybe there's others. I'm not sure. Let's see. Are there any other? I'm just kidding. Let me see. All right, Mike sounds good. That's all I wanted to check on. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Kirk Cousins. Atlanta picking up a couple first downs after starting with pretty bad field position. And they're going to go to Bijan Robinson, and he's going to pick up 4. His name's Logan Paul. His name is Thumper. Speaking of, here we go. Kirk Cousins, 2nd and 6, looking to throw, and he's going to get it to Bijan. And Bijan's going to pick up. Let's go. Oh, no. There's a flag. Oh, come on. It's going back. Kyle Pitts. Come on. That's a drive killer. It's a 30-yard swing. Man, what a difference that penalty makes. That's all right. Bijan's going to get another one of those. 1st and 10 after the penalty. Here we go. Handoff, and now it's Algier. We got a bot, and the bot is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, the one, the only, the beautiful. Give it up for Nick. Happy to have you in here, Nick. Thanks for stopping by for some Thursday night football. Let's watch the game together. Let's have a good time. 2nd and 7. Kirk Cousins under center. A handoff to the one and only, and he's going to take it for a gain of 4. Be gone, bot. Be gone. 35, trying to test his strength. I think if he took out that nose ring, he would immediately gain some strength. Not very intimidating. I think I say this every time the Falcons wear these, but I love the red helmets. I don't know if I've heard you say that, so you know what? It's weird. I didn't even realize that the Falcons were doing something different. And that's not like a diss or anything. I think that's hey, it looked so good that it looked natural. I too. I think that should be their alternate or their everyday. It looks better than the black helmets. Although the all black everything goes pretty damn hard too. As a person that loves to dress in black, I think there's a time and place for all black. Maybe Black Friday. What is this penalty? Oh, come on. Dude. Can we run the offense without the penalties? It's like you're trying to convert, and you do convert and it comes back, and then you make a play and it's 3rd and 4, which is manageable. You dug yourself out of a hole and you get another false start. Hopefully this is on Tampa, which would be even more egregious considering they're the home team. And this is a delay of game. And Raheem Morris is fired up about it. And I could read his lips. He just said, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, there's a neutral zone infraction. It's a neutral zone infraction. The refs don't call it. So now it's 3rd and 12. And that's just a bad call on the refs. Here we go. Kirk Cousins. They're sending 4. And Cousins is going to throw it. And it's going to be Sills, but it's going to be short. I mean, the refs blew that penalty, and it ended their drive. All right. We got little E in the chat. Brother K, been listening in while in the shower, and no, I won't fall. And if I do, I'll find life alert. Well, that's good. Just make sure you don't drop the soap. That's the main thing, Lily. Happy to have you in here, brother. Welcome aboard. The refs have money on Tampa. Seems like it so far. Everybody give it up for the one and only. The man, the myth, the legend, the undeniable, undisputable champion, Little E. Also on the helmet thing, Kyle, I think some of it is the Falcons, to me, have only had red helmet for 2 years. They basically had black ones my whole life. Right. Yeah, that is, yeah, definitely. That is definitely a thing. And that makes me feel like, speaking of old man, that makes me feel like an old man. And Lily said that too, and it's good to be back. All right. Are you guys gambling today? Got to find a better way to say that. What we got some friendly bets in here today. Kawhi Leonard's already made 2 threes. Kevin Durant's already made his 3, so all I need is Kevin Durant to score 20 points, Kawhi to score 20 points, James Harden to score 20. He's already got 6, and I win $50. That's definitely going to hit. It's the first quarter. 15 to win 50. I got the Rockets minus 9.5, the Bucs minus 5.5. I got Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield to both throw for 175 passing yards, and Bucky Irving and Bijan Robinson to both find the end zone. And let's see, I got some first quarter ones. Here we go. Baker, oh my gosh, lucky that wasn't intercepted because he got his elbow hit as he threw the ball, and that came off his hand weird. I knew something was off. Here we go, 2nd and 10. They're going to hand it off. And that is a hard run by Bucky Irving. That is a hard run by Bucky. Here we go, Baker. Looking, sack. Jeez. There's a flag. Thankfully. Holding on the defense. Automatic first down. I got my money on Sunday. The Spurs screwed me over last night. Yeah, I won both of my bets. I had a bet in on the Lakers game, and I had a bet in on the game before that, the Phoenix Suns. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I had $15 to win 24. Look at this run. It's Rashad White. Wow. What a run. Yeah, I had Luka to score 25, Austin Reeves to score 15, De'Ron Fox to score 15, LeBron to score 10, 15 wins 24. I've been doing bets like this, these high percentage bets. I did $30 to win $45. Grayson Allen, 10 points. Dylan Brooks, 10 points. Holmgren, 10 points. Jalen Williams, 10 points. And then on Monday night, I had Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert each record 10 passing yards in each quarter. $50 won me 93. And then Omarion Hampton and Saquon Barkley to each record 5 rushing yards in each quarter. Unfortunately, didn't happen. But that's okay because I also won $120, putting $10 on the Chargers plus 1.5. Omarion Hampton and Saquon Barkley both to find the end zone. $10 won 119. And then my spread, $5 won me 126. I had the Steelers, Seahawks, Bengals, Jags, and Titans. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those teams were covering the spread. And then the Seahawks, I had minus 6.5. I thought they would win in a blowout, and they did. So I'm hot right now. I'm kind of riding a heat wave. And then it was the Thursday night before that I had Jared Goff and Prescott both to have 30 yards passing in each quarter, 25, 187. What is with this line of scrimmage line being the same color as the first down line? I thought we got away from doing that. It looks so bad. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to now introduce the one, the only, the man who is not from the West. He's not from the East. No, he isn't from the North. It is the South, the one, the only. You know him, you love him, you see him on the streets, and you don't say hi because you know he's already been bothered by everybody. Give it up for Crafty Southpaw. All right, so there's your first taste of Mike Evans. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but Mike Evans back from injury, and there it is. I have him on my bench because, well, Whenever they say that there's a guy that's going to be limited, you just don't know what that means in his first game back from a major injury. Baker going deep. Incomplete. Intended for Buka. Here we go. Come on. Throw the ball, Baker. Throw it. Find somebody to throw the damn ball to. Don't do that. Took a sack. Is nobody able to get open? Why are we drawing up plays that keep Baker in a clean pocket and he has nowhere to go with the ball? Come on. The man more craftier than crafty. Crafty himself. Thank you, thank you. Hold the applause. No, please, please stop it. Really. Here we go. 3rd and 15. Baker looking, firing downfield. And now there's a flag, and this is going to be on the offense. Oh, my God. Atlanta's saying it's going to be on the Bucs. Nope, it's going to be on the defense and a first down. I like the old logo, but the Bucs being orange will always be kind of strange to me. Can we watch football? Exactly. Exactly. I mean, he caught the ball. It's like the ref doesn't even throw the flag until after he catches it, just to just to delay the inevitable of a declined penalty. Here we go. Here we go. Baker looking to throw, firing, caught. I think it's a touchdown. They're going to call it a touchdown. Do you think he got it? Cheek is down. Let's look here. Cheek, I don't think the ball crossed the line, which means Bucky Irving time, baby. Let's go. Bucky Irving time, baby. Ready, set, green, 58. 58. Ready. Oh, he got the ball. Touchdown. Bucky Irving time, baby. Bucky Irving time. Fumble. Oh. Wow. Look at that camera angle. All right. Let me grab my Gatorade. One sec. Oh my God, Sean Tucker? Are you kidding me? Yes, incomplete. Are you kidding me? How lame is that? Highway robbery. TD from the fullback. He's actually a running back. Sean Tucker isn't a fullback. He's and while Bucky Irving was out, he was the lead back. He's from Syracuse. He had a game against the Bills where he had like 180 yards. I remember calling that his it was in we were doing a fantasy football thing, and I was like, he's a good streaming option because I thought at Buffalo he was going to have this homecoming type game, and he actually did it. Yeah, and he's a bigger guy too. Like looks kind of like a fullback. How lame is that? Bucky Irving. This is the fantasy football playoffs. You guys need to get it together. The good news is let's see. Bijan Robinson. Let's see. If Bijan Robinson can get me 1 receiving yard before the end of the first quarter, that would be huge. All right. Let's see, first quarter. Okay. I just need 1 yard from Bijan Robinson receiving. That would be huge here. Can he do it? We will see. Oh, thank you. Okay, thanks. Aw, thanks. Aw. Here we go. Throw it to Bijan. Don't overthink it. Takes the handoff, looking to throw. Caught. Yes, even better. Kyle Pitts. Fantasy. Every time we get a big fantasy football score or catch or yards, any big fantasy football play, we are going to hit the Bijan's going to run it here. There's a flag, of course. Holding offense. Awesome. It stops the clock, and usually a screen is followed by a holding penalty. But unfortunately,
Backing up! Backing up! Backing up! Backing up!
Well, you backed up.
all right. And they're going to run it. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter. 9 receiving yards. His whole hand. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully we don't get as many penalties in the second quarter. So far, what do we got? Kyle Pitts is dude, how's Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant still has only 3 points? Is he hurt or something? Bijan Robinson to record 5 rushing yards in each quarter is looking good, right? They're running the football. It's part of the game plan. Bucky Irving, same with him. Let's look at the box score. So far, Bijan, 28 rushing yards. Bucky Irving, 20 rushing yards. And man, what makes the Bucky Irving one dangerous, of course, is the usage of Rachaad White. I'm hoping they dial that back a little bit tonight. Kirk Cousins, 52 passing yards. Baker Mayfield, 65. I also have both quarterbacks throwing 25 passing yards in each quarter. And that one is a $70 payout. Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins to combine for 450 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns. Bijan Robinson. Let's see. I have Bijan Robinson to record a 20-yard reception, Bucky Irving to record a 20-yard reception, and Darnell Mooney to record a 20-yard reception, and Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts already did it. Here we go. Kirk Cousins, first play of the second quarter, and it's going to be a throw, of course. And the moment the second quarter starts, third and 5. Here we go. Kirk. Caught. Sills. Going quick. Oh my gosh, false start. Come on. Oh. Here we go. First and 15. Handoff. There we go. Yes, 5 yards. All right. Raheem Morris. Not happy with the way things have been called so far. Here we go. First and 10. Algier checks into the game. Cousins looking to throw. Pumps. Now throws it into the dirt. Please, refs. Second and 10. Kirk. Sills again. Wow, that could have been intercepted. Here we go. Third and 4. Oh, sorry, Nash. I didn't see that. I was focused on my pasta. He really will be the next Andrew Luck. Oh, will you check out? Yeah. I got you. We'll look at it at halftime. Wait, what happened? Oh, they're incompletion, so they got to kick the field goal now. Ooh, barely made it. What? Oh, Lily, I'm happy you made it out without any injury. I can't imagine what you went through, but you made it out, and that's all that matters. Steelers, do they win? I'll tell you at halftime. Halftime, I'm going to go through the scenarios, and I will reveal my Steelers pick. First and goal, Kurt. Hits. Yes. No flag. Yes. Fantasy. You guys don't understand how rare it is for Kyle Pitts to find the end zone. Even when he has games with 75 to 80 yards receiving in 10 catches, he does not score. This is a guy that does not score. I think he has that. I think that was his third touchdown this year. Wow. Never mind. They just said it. It's only been his second touchdown of the season. Nash, when someone's chat settings are set to top chat instead of live chat, they miss some comments. Exactly. Top message just removed potential spam. Thank you. We got the one, the only, the greatest Colts fan that the world has ever seen. A man, a myth, a legend, a man that I once met and said, wow, you look better than I could have ever imagined. A man that made me question if I liked girls. Ginger. No. Ginger. There we go. Forgive me for the... I get a little... When I'm talking about you, I get a little bit... But happy to have you in here. If we win our next 3, we could potentially lose to the Ravens in the last game, but still be playoff contention, correct? If you, well, that all depends on what the Ravens do. You know what I mean? Like if the Ravens lose their next 2 games, then that massively changes everything. I mean, it wouldn't matter. Look, the Steelers could lose the rest of their football games besides one. And if the Ravens lose all their games, the Steelers would get in. Depending on the Bengals, who it's not that hard for the Bengals to get in. And I actually think it's look, I'll just say it like this. And I'm not trying to just our love aside, because I always want to predict everybody's team to win. You know what I mean? I never want. But my prediction is that the Bengals get in. And it's actually much easier than people think. Very strange how easy it is for the Bengals to get in. All right. Man, that drive took a while. All right. So Bijan Robinson had 5 rushing yards on that drive. Kirk Cousins had... There we go, Bucky Irving. How does Kevin Durant still have 3 points at halftime? Is he hurt? Yep, 5 rushing yards is all I need. But I need 25 passing yards from each quarterback. Come on, Baker. Throw the damn ball. Another holding. Look how much bigger Chris Godwin is than Terrell. Damn. He's got 3 penalties already? That's what I'm here for, Jinja. That is what I'm here for. 1st and 10. It's going to be a reverse handoff to Tucker. And, you know, when you have 180 rushing yards and multiple touchdowns against the Bills, you've earned yourself to get scripted into the game plan, even with a healthy Bucky Irving. But that was really lame putting Sean Tucker in the game on the 1-yard line instead of Bucky Irving. And if they do it again, Bucky, nowhere to go. Lost 3 yards there. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield loves hitting people in the head. Baker looking. That's got to be holding, right? How is that not holding? How is that not holding? Who was that? Alfred? Dude. Dude, that's an egregious missed call. That's crazy. I like the Symbols intro. What's the Symbols intro? Did he lose the... Let's see. He's going to field it at the 20, turn it to the 29-yard line. So he gained 9 yards, and then he lost 4 yards. So technically, he has 5 rushing yards. Okay. Woo! All right. 9-yard run, 5-yard penalty, 6-yard run, -4, passing complete, drive over. So Baker Mayfield, 0 passing yards on that drive. And now Atlanta taking over. Jeez. Come on. Do 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 do. The blind refs are here. How Cousins looking? You meant to clap and Asian gone. Okay, I know what you mean now. I know what you mean. Kirk looks pretty good. Kirk looks better than Baker. I mean, he's not headbutting his offensive lineman without his helmet. So there's that. But I was saying this before the game. Remember last year, Kirk played the type of football that gets you benched for a rookie quarterback. That's how he played last year. Yet he swept the Bucs and had like 525 passing yards combined in those games. So he knows how to play this Todd Bowles defense. Here's a handoff. Bijan Robinson. I don't know if they're going to stop him. Oh, they got an angle. But there's a flag. Jesus. Okay, every time there's a flag, I'm just going to... Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only holding penalty on number 81. Bijan, where you going? It's a 50-yard rush, but you got called for holding. And your ref, what's he doing? He doesn't like the dream that you're pursuing. Raheem Morris, how you like this? I don't like it when the refs have to stop this, like this play. And I know that this one's going to be another delay on the offense. Kirk Cousins, it doesn't make sense. And it's less expensive when you watch the game because it's a slouch. I lost it. Buccaneers playoff probability with a win is 79%. It goes down to a 54% chance. And next week against the Panthers, that's ridiculous that they would even show that because that's not how numbers work. The percentage, Bijan is running like he is not a human being. Like there is something that allows him to fly. And he just flew. He just flew through. It's almost like once he started getting tackled, he hit a button and rockets underneath his cleats. Just the day you aren't right. You're after Achilles, so this is year to be back. Exactly. How did they not flex this game? Yeah, I mean, I got a fun game that should have been flexed to prime time. I might sound biased here. Broncos Packers. Give me the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed in the NFC. Kyle's gonna get the gammy. Thank you. I'm assuming you meant Grammy. Kirk shakes off a. Wow, Kirk, you shook off your defender, and there was nobody around you. Hit the wide open receiver. He does all that awesome stuff just to throw it into the dirt. He's got a receiver with nobody within a 15-yard radius, and he throws it 10 yards too short, and there was no reason for it. Like, you did the hard work, and then you threw the ball like you were in the middle of being taken down. 2nd and 10, Kirk looking to throw, taking a shot downfield, caught! Bijan Robinson. That was a catch. That absolutely should be called a catch. Bijan Robinson just made a miraculous catch. And until I see the replay, it was a catch. Here's the replay. Wow. Oh, my God. You know what, though? The ball didn't even move. I know it doesn't look like it's in a great position, but it's not moving. It didn't move. That is one of the all-time great catches that, unfortunately, isn't going to be remembered. Wow. Another flag. Jeez. Another flag. You got to be kidding me. How can there be that many flags? They can't keep getting away with this. All right. Here we go. 3rd and 15. Kurt. Kyle Pitts. All the way on a gain of 13. They're going for it. They're going to go for it. Wow. If the Lions stay within one game of the Bears, let's see if I can get. Now there's an injury. Jeez. Now they're going to punt it. Actually, I like the other side. Just hear the sleigh bell ding 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 ding. It's where together with you. Have you guys seen that YouTube short of the Indians singing Christmas carols? Kyle, do you take this deal as Kansas City, Joe Burrow for Mahomes and a first? If I'm Kansas City, yes. No, I don't. I don't. Do I think Joe Burrow's the better quarterback? I think it's worth the trade for the extra first round pick. I mean, look, the first round pick doesn't matter. Like, one of these quarterbacks has been to 6 Super Bowls, and it's not because they've had a great first round draft pick. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, what if there's one thing I've learned from the Russell Wilson deal, it's that if you're the kind of team that doesn't draft well, it really doesn't matter how many picks you have. You know, it's like because of the Russell Wilson trade, we hadn't had a first-round draft pick until Bo Nix. We went all those years without a first-round draft pick. And yet, our roster right now is loaded with guys that we drafted because we're drafting well. So, Joe Burrow, I mean, as great as he is, he's getting injured all the time. It's like at some point, you're like, all right, can this guy stay healthy? And on the other side, Mahomes has like pretty much stayed healthy his whole career besides, a couple ankle sprains. I'm not really worried about that. I would keep Mahomes for sure. In National, they put it at 4:00. It should have been a primetime game. Nick said he didn't get both feet in. Burrow got to stay healthy. I don't make that trade as Casey exactly. I do, but I think it's because he's a better QB than Pat at this point. I do too when he's playing. That's the thing. When he's playing. Which isn't very often. Oh my God, please, for the love of God, convert this because I need 25 passing yards from you, Baker. This night might be the best of the three. This game might be the best of the three. 13, but not enough. That's a rough slate. Tampon's got a man down. The old Super Bowl logos. Come on, Baker. Throwing it? Yes. Thank you. The old Super Bowl logos are so much cooler, too, not going to lie. Like the one they just showed in the stands. I like the Dreamsicle unis. Might be alone in that. No, I like them, too. Like the Jets. Here's an old Super Bowl logo. Baker throwing, caught. Thank you. Stay on your feet. Yes! Play action. Baker Mayfield going deep. Caught. 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 He was just talking today about not loving the game anymore. Oof. Or yesterday, not having fun. Same thing. If you're talking that fun shit, you're falling out of love with it. Tampon, gay, suck a queer. What? I like the cream unis, but they're kind of strange because the Bucs are supposed to be red. Oh shit, that's an old Super Bowl logo. That's pretty rad. Thank you. Damn. Bucky Irving just got hit very hard. Is he okay? Speaking of, let's see. 11-yard pass. Here we go. Incomplete. Mike Evans. we go. Baker looking. You got time. You got time. Don't panic. He's going to get tackled after picking up 2, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Let's see. Bro, you played Banjo-Kazooie? I don't know Banjo-Tooie, but Banjo-Kazooie was my favorite game. I used to play that game in the basement where we had our little Nintendo 64. I remember we would roller skate around in circles. And one time I fell. There was these poles, like randomly. I remember hitting a pole, boom, falling onto the floor. And right when I was about to cry, I opened my eyes and there's a frackin' snake. It was a gardener snake, which is the day I learned what a gardener snake is. Like, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Mike Evans walking off the field. Mike Evans dealing with an injury, man. He's battling. He's battling out there. Got to keep that in mind. This is a guy out here battling. Here's Bijan Robinson, who's going to pick up 10. Bijan might be the best football player in the NFL right now. I think he's better than Gibbs, and I think Gibbs is special. But watching this guy, he's just like, I don't know, he's so great. It's like he's a fake player when you build a character in Madden and you're like, make him, and your brother's like, come on, dude, don't make it unrealistic. He's like that unrealistic character. It's like, really, he runs that fast, runs that hard, he's that agile, he's that shifty, and he makes one-hand catches downfield? Okay. Like, that exists. And it does. And his name's Bijan Robinson. Good news is FanDuel's offering me $40 to cash out. I don't know Tui either. Banjo-Kazooie was a bro. I used to work with my brother as the Vikings or Rams in NFL Blitz. I always played with the Broncos. That's when I learned my first like Madden game that I remember like I being obsessed with is wasn't even Madden. It was, well, of course there was NFL Street. I don't know if you guys played that. That was fun. And then Blitz was obviously my first game. We had a running back. Gosh, what is his name? It was like Dylan or something. This is going to bother me. It was the year 2000. Well, no, 1999. 1998? No, obviously that's Terrell Davis. Let's see what they can do. Bijan, he's going to pick up the first. It wasn't Mike Anderson because Mike Anderson's the first Broncos running back I remember, like, consciously. He would do the mile-high salute whenever he scored because he was in the military. He actually got recruited from the military, and it was like, you know, it just doesn't happen that often. Here's Kirk Cousins going deep. Kyle Pitts! Yes! Yes! Fantasy! What happened? Here we go. Cousins going deep. Touchdown. Let's go. It's the playoffs for me, and this is the best thing that could have happened. Kyle frickin' Pitts is giving me a frickin' dub! Corey Dillon, that sounds like a Patriot that I remember. Anderson, I remember, wasn't Anderson. It was like he was only in Blitz is the only place I remember seeing him. It was like the 2000, maybe it was 2001. I didn't try 2001. Hold on. Here's a video of the Broncos in 2000, Broncos Lions. They're on defense here. Here, let me share my screen.
Oh man! And if you watch a couple of videos, like I don't know if you've seen the news. I've been talking about Nick Chubb and like where's he gonna go? And he might sign with Houston, and it's like I love that as a Texans fan. But for fantasy football, I have him and Joe Mixon on my dynasty team, and I don't like it. But there we go, playing some defense. Got pressure pots. What? Okay. Calm down. Heart rate's going crazy. Okay. At least he caught it, but he got.
Does this guy ever get on offense?
And he just can't. Second. Oh, give me that. All right. Coming back now. Let's go play some defense again.
Wait, was that the what the
Coming
hell?
back now.
How is she in the game? How is she in NFL Blitz 2000? This is the Chargers fan from 3 years ago. What the hell? It's not helpful that this guy just doesn't run the ball ever. All right, whatever. And that's nostalgic, isn't it? Hell yeah, bro. As I sit here seeing Mud Shovel lyrics, you take away. Speaking of, I just got a new Broncos jacket. It's got the throwback logos. That's awesome. That is awesome. Simulation. I didn't want to say it. What happened to my... There we go. Kyle, it's probably modded given that those Bronco uniforms are also from like 2012. Great point. Great point, Nick. You want to see my Broncos jacket? It's got the logo here. Not the old school one, but... It gets me to from A to B. This is from the actual Broncos Super Bowl. Some person's grandpa died or something, and they were selling it on eBay for like $5. That's where I get most of my stuff. Oh, all right, we're back. We're back. It's nice having one of those 90s nylon. I think it's made by Ultra Game or something like that. Okay. So far, we got Bijan Robinson, 5 yards in each quarter. Check. We got Bucky Irving, 5 yards in each quarter. Check. Both quarterbacks with 15 passing yard or 25 passing yards in each quarter. Check. Baker, come on. Taking a shot downfield. Wide open. It's Mike Evans. Yeah, I think I'm starting Mike Evans next week. I like what I'm seeing. Come on, Kevin Durant. I need 6 more points from you. Kawhi Leonard, I need 3 more points. James Harden, I need 7. Here we go. 10, 9, 8. Sack lunch. Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins are definitely going to get me the passing yards I need. But will Bijan Robinson and Bucky Irving get in the end zone? Bucky Irving over 20.5 receiving yards. He has 11. And looking good. McMillan's looking good. Chris Godwin only 4 yards receiving. And I need 10 more yards from Ibuka. And Darnell Mooney, 36.5. And Bijan, that's looking really good. And my phone just died. I didn't even know that it needed to be charged. Oops. See, we got it plugged in. He's 9 for 9 on field goals from 50 plus. Think about that. Obviously, people are in the fantasy playoffs. My league, the winner gets $1,500, and I think my team has a chance to win it all, but it's fantasy. And Baker tried to run another play, take a shot to the end zone, didn't like what he saw, and just threw it into the dirt to stop the clock. All right, now here comes McLaughlin. This is going to be a 52-yard field goal. He's got an 84.9%. He hasn't missed. 9 for 9, 50 plus. Let's see what happens here. Snap, hold, kick. Looks good. On a line, on a rope, it's good. How far are you from Memphis? And how is John Moran doing this year? I don't know how well he's doing. I haven't been keeping up with Memphis. I'm about 2 hours from Memphis. Please note, it's not actually 40 years old. It just made to look like a classic. Oh, let's see. It's nice. It's nice. It's one of those 90s nylon. Oh, gotcha. You're talking about the jacket. It's not actually 40 years old, just made to look like classic. Is it brand new or is it from the 90s, do you think? 90s starter jackets were the cow's tits, the cat's pajamas, the bee's knees. It was everything. I fought this dude when I was in 5th grade because he hit me in the face on purpose when I drove the lane because I was working him. I bled all over my brand new starters UNC jacket. I was pissed. Dude, that's awesome. You shouldn't even be mad about that. Do you still have the jacket with the blood stains? Because I'll buy it for $1,000. I'm just kidding. But seriously, that's sick. In a good way. That's what it is, Jinja. NFL playoff scenarios time. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of NFL playoff scenarios. All right. Playoff picture entering week 15. And I will share my screen and we're going to do this together. Okay. The Rams win the tiebreaker over Seattle on the head-to-head if they get a win. Why would that be the case? Because the Seattle Seahawks are playing the Colts. Whatever. Tampa Bay wins the tiebreaker over Carolina on common games if they get the win. San Francisco wins the tiebreaker over... Yeah, see, I would understand if you said the Rams win the tiebreaker over Seattle on common games, but why would the Rams win the tiebreaker over Seattle on head-to-head matchups? Oh, is head-to-head meaning the same game? No, that would be common games. Why would the Rams be able to win the tiebreaker? If they were playing Seattle, I would get that, because if they won, then they sweep Seahawks, they would win the head-to-head. But how is Seattle playing the Colts, like, affecting the head-to-head between the Rams? I don't understand that. San Francisco wins the tiebreaker over Chicago on conference record games. That's going to be important in the NFC. Chicago's 6-3, and The 49ers are only 8-2. And I'm pretty sure one of their games, I think that one of their wins, the Rams should have won, but Kyron Williams fumbled it on the 1-yard line. And then the game went into overtime, and then the Rams won. It was a Thursday night football game. I know they beat Seattle already, but they're going to play again, aren't they? They played twice. And anyway, they're not saying that they own the tiebreaker over Seattle. They're saying that this is a scenario that is going to play out this week, right? The Rams beating us, maybe? Yeah, but it's not saying the Rams win the tiebreaker over Seattle with Seattle loss. It's not really saying anything. I don't understand this one. These are supposed to be scenarios. I'm just going to go to clinching scenarios because I don't understand whatever this is. It's not registering at all. Denver wins the tiebreaker over New England on conference records. With what? With a win? They're not even playing a conference game. They're playing in the NFC. I don't understand this. All right. This I do understand. Clinching scenarios. The Rams clinch a playoff berth with a win, and the Patriots clinch the AFC East Division title with a win. That's not the only way. New England could clinch a playoff berth with either a win, that's the easiest way, or they tie. All right, there's 4 tie scenarios. I'm going to ignore all of those, and we're going to go to this. Houston loses, Indianapolis loses, or Houston ties, Indianapolis loses. So whatever. If the Texans and Colts both lose, New England clinches the playoff berth. I guess because at worst they would be a wild card spot. We're not worried about that. We're trying to win our division. Denver clinches a playoff berth with a win. Or a tie, whatever. Or if Houston and Indianapolis both lose, then we clinch. Minnesota is eliminated from playoff contention with a loss, or Chicago and Detroit both win. Or Chicago or Detroit, either one of them win. They would be eliminated. Philadelphia is knocked out of the 1 seed. Out of 1 seed contention. This is big, you guys. Philadelphia, no longer possible for them to get the 1 seed. If they lose, that is the number one thing that all these scenarios have in common. But here's the combination. The Rams have to win. The Eagles have to lose. The other thing is that Seattle win. Why would Seattle winning? Okay. Oh, because Seattle. Oh, gotcha. Belay my last. Philadelphia losing the Rams and Seahawks or the 49ers. Wait, no. The simplest one is that the Rams and Seahawks both win and the Eagles lose. Then they're donezo. The other one would be the Rams, 49ers, Packers, and Bears all win. And we'll just move on. But the main thing is Philadelphia, if they lose this week, they put themselves at a risk of losing the 1 seed. Tampa Bay is knocked out of the 1 seed contention. All right, Tampa Bay is not going to be the 1 seed. All right, they're gonna. I said this in the beginning of the season too. There's going to be one team from the NFC South that's going to get in, and it's going to be the Panthers. I know people don't want to hear it. I know you don't like it, but it is what it is. Carolina knocked out of the one seed. This is just funny. Some of these scenarios are really like, do we really need to? I respect the hustle, but come on, Carolina, the 1 seed, not happening. Cincinnati's eliminated from the North with a loss and or a Pittsburgh win and Pittsburgh tie. Miami, so if Pittsburgh wins and the Bengals win, the show goes on. All right, the Bengals would have to tie and the Pittsburgh Steelers would have to win, which brings me to what I want to show you now, okay? So this is what I've showed some people, and if you're just joining me now, you're going to see how easy it is for the Cincinnati Bengals to make the postseason. The Steelers have a very tough matchup this week against the Dolphins. And the reason is because the Dolphins are playing for their season. If the Steelers lose, the show goes on. If the Dolphins lose, their playoff hopes are over. All right? If the Dolphins win that game and we get a win here, this affects the Ravens. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need the Ravens to lose another game somewhere else. Your win does the other. So it's 2 birds, 1 stone. We go to week 16. All right. The Bengals are playing the Dolphins. One of these teams has to be eliminated. The Bengals get it done. And then the Steelers, who are playing the Detroit freaking Lions, the Lions get the dub at home. Now, the Steelers win week 17 because the Steelers are playing an inferior opponent week 17. So we're going to give them the win over the Browns, and the Bengals, they're going to get a home win here against the Cardinals. All right. So far, all is well. And we're going to go ahead and find the Ravens game. Yes, the Packers and Ravens, which was just flexed to Saturday Night Football exclusively on Peacock at nighttime. The Packers get the dub, and that brings us to week 18, where the Bengals have the matchup that they're going to win, just like the Steelers won week 17. But the Bengals get the win over the Browns, and the Steelers, they do not sweep the Ravens. The Ravens get the win late season, and there it is. The Bengals in the playoffs, not a 7, not a 6, not a 5, but the 4 seed. And the most unlikely scenario of all of what I just did was the Dolphins beating the Steelers, which I'm not so sure is like that unrealistic, right? The Dolphins are playing really good football right now. That you've been able to run the football on the Steelers. We've seen them be susceptible against the run. We saw what James Cook and the Bills did to them. Devon Achane is going to have a very big game, and at the very least, Steelers, if they do win, it's going to be a close game. But I think with the fact that the Dolphins, their season is on the line, and the Steelers, they can afford to lose. They're not eliminated from the playoffs. But I don't know if the Steelers as a team understand that if they don't win this game against the Dolphins, it gets very difficult for them because you're looking at other matchups against the Lions and much more difficult teams. And we still gave the Steelers the win week 17 against the Browns. It's just not enough. And you get a 3-way tie in the division with 3 teams that are 8 and 9. But at the end of the day, the Bengals are the team that comes away with the tiebreaker. Very crazy, right? Very, very crazy stuff right there. Okay, so let's go back to playoff scenarios, and we'll do this really quick. Kansas City's eliminated with a loss, a Buffalo win, a Jacksonville win, and a Houston win. But they still control their own destiny, and I think the Kansas City Chiefs probably get in. Hopefully not, but I look at how many scenarios there are for Kansas City to get eliminated. But all of them require the Chiefs to lose. All right. Here we go. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. No. Did I get it? Yes. Yes. From the 35, they begin this drive. Play fake, the pump fake underneath. Bijan Robinson. All right. 1st and 10. They're already in the other team's territory, and Bijan Robinson picks up 4 yards. Here we go. And, Bijan. He's going to lose 2 or 3 here. So Bijan Robinson has the big gain. Third down and 9. Here we go. They get the ball snapped. And no, it's going to be a delay of game. They're going to say he didn't get it off. Oh, it's a false start. Kyle Pitts gets called there. Kirk Cousins, man. He's like, I'm not losing this game. 3rd and 14. Here we go. 3rd and 14. Snap. Kurt looking, and he's going to throw it. And Kyle Pitts is going to be there for gain of 10. But, hey, that is fantasy, baby. So what was that? 4th and 17. So it was a gain of 9, roughly. fair catch into the end zone. Holding during the kick. Jeez. Unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. The penalties, man. TJ Watt underwent medical evaluation at the hospital today due to discomfort in his lung. Ooh, we back with the flags. Oh, yes. All right. So we had, let's see, play-by-play. So all plays. So we had a 10-yard penalty, a 6-yard pass, a 16-yard pass. So 24 passing yards. A 4-yard run, a negative 3-yard run. So he's got 1 yard. Okay, so Bijan Robinson has 1 rushing yard. I need 4 more rushing yards from him and 1 more passing yard from Kirk Cousins. On the other side, I need 5 yards from Bucky, and I need 25 passing yards from Baker. But 4 rushing yards for Bijan and 1 passing yards for Kirk Cousins. And I really want to look at my fantasy football just to see how many points I have. But I also kind of want to wait. I don't know. I normally would never do that, but I feel like this year, or I feel like this week, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to open it. I don't know why. Here we go. Bucky Irving. No gain. Or gain of 1. Okay. I'll take the gain of 1. I'll take the gain of 1. 2nd and 10. Here we go. Empty backfield. 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Snap, throw, and it's Godwin for a gain of 8. Third and a deuce. You heard it here first. 3rd and a big fat deuce. Here we go. And they're going to run it. Bucky Irving. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, baby. 5-yard run. Yes. Now just don't lose any yards. And Baker Mayfield, do me a favor, throw a 13-yard pass. Sorry, 17-yard pass. Here we go. Play action fake. Looking. Firing. Caught. Yes. a Mecca, a Buka, baby. Come on, 4 more points for Kevin Durant, baby. 1 more point for James Harden to win $50. Do I cash out for 25? Or do I wait and see if Kevin Durant gets 4 more points? I think it could go to overtime. I'm holding. Here we go. Baker Mayfield passing, going deep downfield. Evans has it. Evans has it. He caught the ball. What a play. Wow. And it wasn't a drop. It just a big receiver going up and using his body and making a big time play. This guy I will be starting next week. He looks fine to me. Here we go. Come on, Bucky. Here we go. What a freaking play. Are you kidding me? What a freaking catch. What a catch. Here we go. Baker looking. Sack. Lunch. Sack lunch. I don't know what just made me think of this out of nowhere, but was Von Miller at A&M when Menzel was there? No. Johnny Menzel was there 2012? No. 2000. I want to say 2012. Von Miller was drafted in 2011. I think he just missed him. Look at this. Oh, because of Mike Evans. That's why. So was Mike Evans on this catch. Look at this catch. So I could go for a sack lunch right now. Because you got the munchies. Here we go. Baker Mayfield looking, firing. Oh. I'm holding it. Look at this bet. That's it. That's all it took for me to kill my phone. It's not much of a charger. Here we go. First and goal, and it's a pitch to Sean Tucker. That looked like a face mask, and that's exactly what the ref saw. go. Tripping. This is the Flag Bowl 2025. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Here we go. Handoff, Sean Tucker. And I'm glad Tucker was the one losing all those yards and not Bucky Irving. Refs must be betting the over on flags. Or the Falcons to cover. Let's see. Why is Bucky Irving never in the game here? Caught. Devin Kolk? Devin Culp? Nobody had that on their bingo card, which is, man, if I hear that one more time, or the under on the points, exactly. Not that it's going to work. All right, so Baker Mayfield, he did it. We got the passing yards, Bucky Irving, we got the rushing yards, all I need. By the way, what's going on with the Clippers? I needed... I need this game to go to overtime. 19 points. 105 to 110. Oh, I need the Clippers-Rockets game to go to overtime. So I can get one more point to win $50. Do they just never show basketball games on national TV anymore? Yesterday, I couldn't get any of the games. I don't know why. Refs need more screen time. Because you bet them. That's why they're playing Leonardo Smith Jefferson out of nowhere. I actually didn't. What did I bet? Oh, Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving is who I bet. And I'm holding on. I'm holding on to the little faith I have that Bucky Irving is going to find a way somehow to score. And it's annoying how they keep putting Sean Tucker in the game. And they must have paid Todd Bowles a lot of money. I bet if I look up Bucky Irving on X, the first thing I'm going to see is... oh, yeah, true. The first thing I'm going to see is everyone freaking out. Look, I'm going to go latest Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving in the backfield, and you throw it to a guy named Devin Culp. I don't even have a bet on Bucky Irving, but this is getting ridiculous. The constant need to give backup running backs near goal line is hilarious. Unless the running back is minus 300, they aren't getting a touch near the goal line. Bucky Irving, why the hell won't the Bucs put Bucky Irving in the red zone? Bucky Irving just ran for just 2 years was special. That injury ruined him. What? This guy's an idiot. I hate when people like are so dumb that they don't even know how to be upset properly. It's one thing to be upset, like why is the coach taking Bucky Irving out? But no, I'm gonna be mad. So now it's about Bucky Irving. He had a good run. Yeah, it's over. Shut the fuck up, you dumbass. Nobody thinks that. Bucky Irving is not over. How about this? How about they give the guy an opportunity in the red zone? How about that? There's something to be upset about. People are just so frail. Fire him. Who? Dan Campbell? Like what? Give up play calling. No, keep calling plays. He did good this week. See, I never even saw these conspiracy people, and I thought this shit before that. My dad just said, "Who the fuck is Bucky Irving?" Dude, he's the truth. Bucky Irving is a fucking monster. He was drafted. Oh, that should have been intercepted. How did that not get picked? He was drafted last year out of Oregon, and by I would say week 7 or week 8, he was undeniable, and the Bucs had to make him the full-time starter. He actually led the league last year in broken tackles and yards after contact. He's just a hard guy to bring down, extremely comfortable in the passing game, has a very good feel for how to get into open space, and then very hard to bring down, and has a lot of speed too. Just a all-around great running back. Here's Kurt, and there we go. Bijan Robinson. There we go. And we got our passing yards. Now I need, 4 rushing yards from Bijan Robinson. That's all I need. All right. Clippers game. It's 113 to 110 now. Kawhi Leonard with 24. We saw James Harden got 22 points. All right. Going deep downfield. Oh my God, you freaking bum. You make white people look terrible. Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel so bad for him right now. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And cue the white wide receiver jokes. As if that doesn't also happen to black people, right? I'm just saying. That's what it is. That is what it's going to be. And you kind of know that as a white receiver. Same thing with Riley Moss. You get blown coverage. It's like, yeah, you're a white corner. You get attacked extra. Here's Kirk Cousins. Caught. Darnell Mooney. And that's Darnell Mooney's first catch today. And it's a guy with a lot of potential and dealt with injury for a lot of the season. Came back 3 weeks ago. Did pretty well. And they weren't really able to ramp him up slowly because there was a bunch of injuries going around. And he basically just got force-fed immediately. And he didn't have a big game, but he had the opportunity to have a big game. And just really hasn't had the same amount of success. Come on. Why are you throwing it now on first down? Run the ball. Bucky Irving, come on. What are you doing? Run the fucking football. You have one of the best running backs in the country. So we got how many passing? One passing touchdown for Kirk Cousins, 2 passing touchdowns for Kirk Cousins, and passing yards 225. So we got 225. We need 225, and we got 212. So I just need one more passing touchdown to win $100. I need this to be a 3 and out. I need this to be a 3 and out for the Bucs. So Bucky Irving or for Bijan Robinson to get 4 rushing yards. Wait, did he get that in the beginning of this drive? I don't believe he did. They threw the ball in the beginning of the drive. Let's see. This drive was 7 plays. Really, that drop by Sills, it just, oh my God, fumble. Tampa was able to get back on it. All right. So a bad drop takes a touchdown off the board for the Falcons, and they end up having to punt. 4.5 minutes about left in the third quarter, and this could be an opportunity for the Bucs to take a commanding lead and go up 27-14 going into the fourth, or the Falcons, they can play good defense, get the ball back, score a touchdown, and go up. Take a 1-point lead. This is definitely a defining moment of the game. Whatever happens on this next drive, for better or for worse, will be a defining moment, because the game is at a fork in the road, and we are going to sit and wait what direction it's going to go. I think if you're at home cheering for a good game, you want a good defensive showing for Atlanta here, and you want them to get the ball back. Don't forget, after this this match, I have my Phillip Rivers Spectacular debuting tonight. Definitely stay tuned for that. I swear I said the same thing about week 2 this year. Buccaneers, Irving, me, and my dad Blaze cracking up. That's awesome, dude. I wish I was with you guys. Speaking of white and black, Darnell Mooney, 10 blackest things I've ever heard. Oh, yeah. Mooney is top 10. I don't know. I think the name's kind of ass. Get it? Mooney? Here we go. Baker Mayfield. Caught. Mike Evans, first down. Yep. Should have started Mike Evans. I should have. And I had a dream that I should have. And I decided not to be supernatural. And I took a little nap today and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start Mike Evans. What am I doing? And then I looked at my lineup and I saw that Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't even show up at practice for the Cardinals. So I'm going to go. I'm like, I got to start Wilson. Bucky Irving, more yards, which is a good thing. But Tristan Wirfs is just, he looks like a very powerful man. He looks like a very hard person to get around. My dad thought Bucky Irving was a white dude because his name's Bucky. That's hilarious. The Falcons coaching staff is full of bums. Dude, I never look at Bucky Irving all the way down to midfield. I couldn't agree with you more, Nick. I never understood the hiring of what's the guy? Raheem Morris. And it's documented. I said it the day he was hired. I was like, I don't like it. He already got his. I'm not saying people don't deserve second chances, but it's like giving second chances to defensive guys that haven't even done anything like stand out. This is who Bucky Irving is if you're watching the game. To that loser on X that said Bucky Irving is, man, he had a good run. I hope you turn the game off because you realize that you're unworthy of having a football opinion. Buccaneers possessions, field goal, touchdown, and Falcons haven't been able to get off the fucking field, and I need Bucky Irving to... as great as this is to watch, can somebody on the Falcons make a freaking play? Please. Pressure. Finally. Sack. Launch. There we go. And if my math is mathing, Atlanta's at least going to have one play ran in the third quarter, and that will likely be a run, and I need Bijan to make the most of it. I need 4 yards out of the big dog. Now let's see. Let me just make sure that he doesn't already have it. On that 7-play drive, there was a 4-yard run minus 3-yard run. Yeah, they didn't even attempt. Yes, incomplete. A full minute. They didn't even attempt a run. How are you the Falcons? You're in a one-score game, and you don't even attempt a run with Bijan Robinson. A Bijan Robinson, a guy that has not only been amazing in this game, a guy that has 12 carries for 64 yards. You understand that means he's averaging like almost 6 yards a carry or some shit like that. Wait, 10. Yeah. I mean, like, how does he not get every single first down handoff? Well, they'll know we're running. Who cares? They can't stop him anyway. That's the whole point. I think sometimes when you have these Christian McCaffreys, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving, even when you have guys that are super talented, don't get cute as an offensive play caller and be like, oh, we can't run this because they know we're running it, so we're going to do the opposite of what they think we'll do because then they'll be on their toe. You know what? Real football, when you have these really good athletes, you can say we're running the ball. You can go up to the line and say we're running it here. They know we're running. We know we're running, and they can't stop him. Do you think when the Lions were running the football that the defense didn't know the Lions were running? Of course they did. And he still almost every single year he was a Lion besides one, finished his season averaging more than 5 yards a carry on the season. And he had multiple years where he averaged 7+ yards a carry. You know, that's crazy. Emmitt Smith only had like 3 years where he averaged more than 5 yards a carry. He has all the records because of longevity. He just played for a long ass time and he stayed pretty healthy. But he didn't, and he got a ton of volume, but he didn't have like, he wasn't even in the same league as a Barry Sanders. You think the Lions were not running the ball on first down because they knew we were going to run it? This is why they have the record they have, is because they don't even lean into their strengths. Bucky Irving, at this point in the game, I want to see him with like 16 carries. Typically, you don't run it as much in the fourth quarter, especially if you're behind. But he barely has over 10 carries. And you look at the drives where they don't run it on first and second down, they're 3 and outs. I mean, that last drive's a perfect example. They didn't run it one time, and they didn't gain a single yard on the entire drive. Look at them, lined up. Okay, they motioned him. Gain of 2. Did he say 8 carries for 66 yards? $13 carries for 66 yards. So he's got 1, 2, 3. Yep. Oh my gosh. There's no way he had possession of that ball. There's no way he had possession of the ball. I like the fact that they're ruling it. I like the way that let it go. You can always reverse it. Don't blow the whistle early. They're calling it a completed catch and a fumble. Wow. So dreams don't come true. One, I thought he has to have 2 steps. Isn't that the whole thing? You have to have 2 steps. Here's 1. Okay, that's his first step then. Let's see if Baker can do anything here. He had the carry. He had the Mike Evans is hurt, man. You can tell Mike Evans is a little banged up out here. The good news is I still got Bucky Irving. See, this is why I don't. This is why I didn't. I did myself a favor and I didn't parlay Bucky Irving and Bijan Robinson's 5 yards. I did them separate. So Bucky Irving, I'm still alive. 5 yards. And after that catch, he gets tackled. His teammates going like this to the training staff. And brother, I'm gonna need you next week on my fantasy squad. So like, do me a favor and don't hurt yourself, please. Broncos and Chiefs. Wow. Is that happening that soon? No, not next Thursday, but the Thursday after that. The Falcons should leave their OC head coach in DC and Tampa instead of bringing them home on the team plane. Falcons gonna Falcon. He had that ball for less time than the Ravens receiver in the end zone on Sunday. Exactly. No consistency. Kevin Durant, you bum. Kevin Durant, fucking bum. 16 points. How did you... 5 field goal mades? What a bum. Oh my gosh. I was about to say, that's like, don't overanalyze. What are you doing, Bucky? Stay on your damn feet. All right, Mike Evans back out on the field now. I need another touchdown pass. I need one more touchdown pass from either Kirk Cousins or Baker Mayfield. It's there. That's, yeah, obvious. Thank you. It was obvious. All right. Baker Mayfield. What's he going to do? 2nd and 10? Or, I'm sorry, 1st and 10? And fucking Sean Tucker? Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck off the field. I don't want to see Sean Tucker again. Sorry, that's very just not nice. I don't want to see Sean Tucker inside the 3-yard line again. There we go. Throw the damn ball. Throw it. Throw a touchdown pass. Don't. Yes. Let's go. There we go. There we go. And considering I have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both on my fantasy team, currently on my bench, I still will honor the fantasy. All right. They're going to go for 2 here to make it a 2-possession game. And like I said, the turning point of the game for the Falcons, and they end up getting the stop that they needed. But the fumble from Bijan Robinson gets the Bucs the ball back in a good spot. They score a touchdown, and now the game is 2 scores away. And that was that fumble, that turnover. That's why they say, "Show me the turnover, differential, and I'll show you who won the game." And look at that, Chris Godwin again, and now it's 28-14, and we got Baker Mayfield with 257 yards, and we got Atlanta with 200 yards, 220 yards. That's 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins to combine for 450 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns. I put $25 on it to win 95. Should have put 100 on it. I'm but that's how you always feel when you win a bet. I should have. Only problem you're going to have is that you didn't buy more. The Falcons are so ass, they can't help it. It's in their DNA. And that's what happens when you bring in a wide receiver with the last name Mooney. All right, so I feel a little bit better about the fact that I'm going to win $95. And honestly, if Darnell Mooney has 23 more receiving yards, Chris Godwin has 26 more yards, and Bucky Irving has 9 more receiving yards, I win $677. Mike Evans, no touchdown today. Bucky Irving, 60 rushing yards. I had him with 60. He has currently 50. Is that 57? Yeah, 57. Bijan Robinson to score five rushing yards in each quarter. Bucky Irving to have 5 rushing yards in each quarter. I like the fact that they're going to be running the clock out. That's helpful. Let me see the Buccaneers. Let's go to the play-by-play. End of the third quarter. Bucky Irving up. Oh, they gave Bucky Irving no gain, so Bucky Irving currently with 0. All right. Baker Mayfield to have 25 passing yards in each quarter. Let's see. 10 yards. Let's see. 11-yard pass. $21-yard pass. 17-yard pass, 36-yard pass. I forgot. I still have that alive. Kirk Cousins throwing the ball into the fucking dirt. I still have both quarterbacks to throw for 25 yards in each quarter to win 70. And that is still very much alive. 10-yard pass, 13. So I need Atlanta to score here to keep the pressure up on the Bucs. Come on. Where's Kirko Chains? Here we go. Bijan Robinson. There you go. Third and 3. This is big here. There it is. First down. Bijan Robinson. Here we go. First and 10. Kirk Cousins, shotgun, handoff, Bijan Robinson. And he's going to pick up 4 maybe. And here we go. We got Kirk Cousins. If they drive down the field, get a touchdown here, it's a 1-score game. And we got a ball game. The question is, can the Falcons be clutch here with Kirk Cousins? Can they do it? Here we go. Is that Sills? No, that's Charlie Werner. Haven't seen Sills since he dropped that touchdown. Yeah, where's Kyle Pitts? There he is. Pitts goes in motion. Go, Kyle Pitts. Yes. Fantasy. There we go. And I was just wondering, where is Kyle Pitts? I miss my friend. And there he is, my buddy. Most yards he's gained in a game since his rookie season. Here's another throw, and it's there, Sills. Look at this. And this is a monster day for Kyle Pitts. And, man, could it have happened at a better time? I just want to thank whoever dropped Kyle Pitts in their fantasy league and allowed me to pick him up from waivers. You have been an absolute MVP for me. Outside, touchdown, Bijan Robinson. If the Falcons were any more ass, they'd have a sphincter. I don't even know what that means. I've heard the word sphincter. I don't know what a sphincter is, but I don't want to Google it because the word just kind of, the way women feel about the word moist, which I still don't understand that whole thing. They're going for 2 to make it a 6-point game. Robinson in the slot. Incomplete. Intended for Pitts, which would have been awesome. All right, so the latest and the greatest update is going to be the touchdown run. I hope you guys appreciate the backgrounds that I give you to demonstrate where we are at in the game. Kyle Pitts trying to get him the ball, and Kirk Cousins mad. He's mad at Kyle Pitts. Damn. I like seeing Kirk Cousins, this passionate. It's exciting to see. So we got 25 yards passing from Kirk Cousins. We got a touchdown from Bijan Robinson. And all of a sudden, I just need a Bucky Irving touchdown. I don't know. Can we get a Bucky Irving touchdown? Is it possible? Because if we get a Bucky Irving touchdown and it's 20 or more yards, then it gets to a point where if Darnell Mooney has a 20-yard reception, I'll win $1,100. I won 95. I also need Baker Mayfield to have 25 passing yards in the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter started with a 10-yard penalty, a 2-yard run, a 3-yard touchdown pass. So this is really the first full drive we're going to get from the Bucs in the fourth quarter. And I know with Mike Evans being back, we're gonna get a great version of Tampa Bay from now on. This is gonna make it very hard for Carolina. I wasn't sure going into this game what it was gonna look like. That's why Mike Evans is on my bench, because he's been injured for so long, and then all week he's questionable. Oh, they try like a squib kick, and there's a flag. So they're going to get it in the 40-yard line. You freaking idiot. Wow. I mean, could there have been a worse time to give the Bucs that type of field position? 11 targets, 6 catches, 132 yards. Geez, the ball is going to be placed at the 40-yard line. $17 penalties tonight. 17 penalties tonight for Atlanta. Here we go. Baker Mayfield. And it's going to be a run. Rashad White. Yeah, don't expect any Bucky Irving. Jeez, come on. Baker Mayfield, come on. 25 yards passing. Give it to me, baby. Caught. Bucky TD to win 266. Hell yeah. Penalties decline. Love it. Love it. Let's see. Dude, he's had 5 holding calls on defense. That was a 19-yard pass for Baker. Wait, how are they ahead of me? Because if I just saw correctly, he's going to throw a 12-yard pass here. No, he threw it into the ground. Oh, wait. So the throw to Rashad White. Six-yard pass. Okay. 6-yard pass, 9-yard pass. So that's 15 yards. And then the touchdown was 3 yards. Here we go. Intercepted. Intercepted. All right. I love it. This is good. This is good. Now do something with it. Do something with it, Atlanta. Send this damn game to overtime. We're all hitting tonight, baby. Geez, Baker Mayfield just... I mean, imagine if Daniel Jones or Bo Nix threw that ball. Oh, my gosh. Look, it can happen to anybody. It can happen to you. By the way, I was doing some research yesterday. Wait till I show you at the next commercial break. Here's a handoff. Oh, look at this. Bijan Robinson. And he picks up 13 yards. Man. Atlanta taking the ball away. All right, 3-yard gain on the ground. Trying to update the background to kind of keep up with the flow of the game. So here is the celebration after the interception. 2nd and 7. And a terrible throw by Kirk Cousins. What are you doing? How do you throw that bad of a pass? $90 rushing yards, 82 receiving yards, 172 total yards today. Pitts motions to the right. 3rd and 7. And Bijan going to motion. And here we go. Blitz is coming off the back foot. And it's caught. Kyle Pitts, first down. What a big-time throwing catch from Kirko Cousins. It doesn't get any more clutch than that. You see the blitz. They're coming in. He knew before he snapped it with the motion from Bijan Robinson that the defense was coming. He hangs in the pocket, throws the ball where it needs to be, and then Kyle Pitts makes a contested grab. That is good football right there. We're going to need to see more of that if Atlanta's coming back in this game. Tyler Algier takes it now to the 25-yard line. 6 minutes left in this game. Wow. First and 10, 8 yards away from the red zone, 6 yards. Bijan is going to pick up 2. Really had no business picking up a single yard right there, and still found a way to pick up 2 yards. Get Bucky in the fucking end zone for a ginger. Bucky to TD to win 266 and Bucs minus 6.5. If Bucky scores, I'm confident in the spread. Epitomizes my life. I bet Falcons and Bijan heavy. Fumbles second play. Then the next drive, they hit everything I need. Here's a throw. There we go. Oh my God. That's exactly what I needed. Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney just did exactly what I needed and then fumbled the ball. But doesn't the catch still count? Atlanta ball. How? Yeah, he gets all of those yards. How did Atlanta get... Who? Oh my God! It's a miracle Atlanta got back on this football. I'm telling you, this is a real miracle. There's $5 right there. First and goal now, and why not Kyle Pitts? Here we go. Kirk Cousins throwing end zone. Just outside the reach. And that was a 16-yard gain for Mooney. My goodness. I haven't seen Bucky Irving in the fourth quarter. Here we go. Bijan Rob. Oh, a flag. I'm like, oh my gosh. The penalties. This is the 18th penalty. My God.
Backing up. Backing up. Backing up. Backing up.
Well, you backed up.
Here we go. First team with 18 penalties in a game since the 2019 Browns. Give it to Kyle Pitts, baby. Lined up in the slot. Stacked receivers. Kirk looking, not throwing that way. And it's going to be a gain of 6 or 7, depending on forward progress, setting up a massive third down. I think Atlanta should be moving faster. I guess they're assuming they're going to score and get the 2-point conversion. But if I'm the head coach, in my mind, we score here. We don't get the 2-point conversion. We need time on the clock. Going kind of slow and huddling up. They need to move with a little bit of urgency here. And it's a little late now because this is seemingly the last play of the drive. Here we go. Kurt throwing to the end zone. Pitts. Touchdown! Kyle Pitts! I thought he didn't catch it. They're calling it a touchdown! I don't believe it! Touchdown! Fantasy! Because he bobbled the ball, but then he gets it right here. Ass cheeks down before the elbow. Ass cheeks down before the elbow. He's got it. Ass cheek, then elbow. He's touchdown. Ass. Stands. Stands is what Terry's got. Let's go. I love you. You're a good boy. Have a kiss. Kiss. It stands. It stands. It stands. Kyle Pitts. 3 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts. I don't believe it. This guy coming into the season has 2 touchdowns on the whole year, and he gets 3 touchdowns in the first round of the playoffs for me. The only player that I'm playing. Here we go. Kirk Cousins, huge 2-point conversion. And Kirk looking? No. No. Incomplete. So now they need the ball back. And this is essentially why I was beating the table saying Atlanta needs to move faster. Got to move faster here, but look, I need we got three timeouts. Damn, why couldn't they just convert that? All right, I need Baker Mayfield to throw 25 yards. Falcons comeback imminent. I believe it. I do too. And Woody. Don't get the conversion. Damn. Man, that kills me. The conversion would have been huge. That conversion would have been huge. Huge. Would have been big. Ah, man. All right. I'm getting curious. It's hard for me. I want to see how many points Kyle Pitts has. 7-yard touchdown pass. We got a 7-yard touchdown pass. And then on the last drive, 4-yard pass, 6-yard pass, 7-yard pass, 20-yard pass. It's not too late for Bucky Irving to get a touchdown and win me $96. It's not too late for Darnell Mooney to have 7 more yards, Chris Godwin to have 35 more yards. No, 25 more yards. And Bucky Irving to have 9 more yards receiving. Honestly, first play is a screen to Bucky Irving for 10 yards. The next play, Chris Godwin downfield for 25 yards. And then Atlanta gets the ball back and throws a 8-yard completion to Darnell Mooney. I win $677. Baker Mayfield, 25 passing yards in each quarter. That I need. I need Baker Mayfield to come out here and I need him to throw the ball. I think if you're Tampa Bay, you need to stay aggressive. If they kick a field goal, they win the game. Right? It's a 2-point game. So do you really want to come out here and not, play aggressive? Because I feel like the Bucs are the kind of team that they only have 2 switches, on and off. And I don't know if you want to go off here. The Carolina Panthers are sitting back watching this game going, man. Here we go. Here's a handoff. Bucky Irving. There it is. That's it. That's all I needed. But if they get like a 3-yard loss on this next run, then the cycle kind of returns. Hopefully they substitute. No, they're leaving Bucky Irving on the field. I think they're going to throw it here. Like I said, they want to stay aggressive. Bucky score here. And what do you need 2 conversion for? Oh, I just wanted overtime so that my bets would hit. That's all. Make the pass to Irving a 10-yard touchdown pass. Let's go. Bucky Irving, another 1-yard gain. I'm okay with it. All right, 3rd down. This game is in a situation now where overtime's just not on the table. I'm trying to think, if Atlanta scores and let's say they miss the extra point, they would have 32. No, 28. They would need a touchdown. And then if they scored a touchdown, then they would go up 5. Or no, they would go up 4. 32, they would go up 4. 33, they go up 5. Maybe we get a pity field goal again like the Raiders. But, yeah, I'm thinking even if they kick the pity field goal, there's no way to tie this game. And Rashad White came in, so the Bucky Irving deal's done. All right, now you got to start thinking about your timeouts. Timeout Tampa or Atlanta. So Bucky Irving was able to get 5 rushing yards, so that's a hit. So we won that one. That's $33. Baker Mayfield. That was a 5-yard pass. And then on the previous drive, he had a 9-yard pass, 6-yard pass. So that was 15, 20. So I still need 5 more yards from Baker. Come on, 5 passing yards for Baker. Oh, my God. I knew that was going to happen. And he just lost 3 yards. Yeah. There goes my yards right there. 4-yard loss. And he only had 7 yards. And then Bucky Irving comes off the field. Fuck my life. I thought they just put Rashad White in, and then they take him out, put Bucky in, lose the yards, and then put Bucky back off the field. Oh, catch the damn ball. Shaping up to be, dude, this game has been awesome. Minus the 19 penalties from Atlanta, this game's been amazing. You got to catch this ball. Not the best ball placement, a little behind him, but still, come on, you got to make that play. You're a wide receiver. Make that play. They put the ball around your vicinity in that moment. You gotta make that quarterback trust you and catch those. Tampa Bay is going to call a timeout here, and it'll be interesting to see how they want to play this. So we need 5 more passing yards from Baker. We need 3 more rushing yards from Bucky Irving, and I would imagine if they got a first down here, they could just take knees. There would be no more runs. This is the last play of the game if it's a pass. I mean, if it's a first down. So I either win one. Sack. So I'm going to lose both of those. All right. This is what happens when you play. This is what I was telling you going into this drive. Tampa Bay has 2 switches, right? And when it's off, I don't mean like they've changed their philosophy. I mean they suck. Tampa Bay doesn't play good when they're not actively trying to keep they should have came out and kept the pressure on Atlanta even before this. I mean, they let Atlanta back into this game. I mean, look, all I got to say is Baker Mayfield has 20 passing yards in the 4th quarter. That's not due to Baker Mayfield sucking. The guy's got like 350 yards tonight. When you are running the ball, obvious situations, we're going to run it on first down. We may throw it on second down, but we're going to run it on first and second down. Then we're going to throw it on third down. It's harder to have success when you start. And Denver had a problem doing this early in the year. You start playing the game. You start letting the game play you instead of playing the game. And some teams just don't know how to play with a lead. They know how to play from behind. They don't know how to play with a lead. And I fear Tampa is one of those teams that doesn't know how to play with the lead. And I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this game 29-28. And it's looking like that is not that unlikely. Let's see what the odds say right now. I can still get Atlanta at plus money. We just bet Atlanta they're at plus 146. Here we go. We just put a lot of money on Atlanta. Don't let me down. Kirk Cousins taking a shot. Caught. Sills. Remember, no Young Ho Koo. No Young Ho Koo. The house is winning even harder. For real. Kyle, when the house always wins, go down and stick it in their fucking crawl, Atlanta. Unless it's the Raiders defense being predictable. Yeah. Atlanta's saying they still got it. Tampa's got the ball. Why are they not making a rule yet? Oh, okay. So they're going to keep it with Atlanta. That was a massive call. No young host. He's which team is he with now? Which team is he with? I forgot. Kyle putting anything on a Falcons victory was the first mistake. 2nd and 18. Cousins firing. Incomplete. There is a flag. Oh my God. Holding on the fucking Falcons. Look, you got to find a way to get Bijan Robinson the ball in space. I wonder if Atlanta were to get in field goal position, would the Bucs call their 2 timeouts so that they could get an opportunity? 2nd and 28. Kurt is in shotgun. Here we go. Kurt firing. And for the 3rd time tonight, Kirk Cousins is throwing the ball into the feet. Put something on the ball. Why is he throwing it into the feet? Throw the damn ball. Is Kirk Cousins not built for these moments anymore? Where's Bijan Robinson? How many times are they going to forget Bijan Robinson exists for an entire series? Now it's 3rd and 28, and it's got the ball snapped. And here's Kyle Pitts. And Kyle Pitts is going to pick up a 4th and what? 4th and 14. They have time. You got to calm everybody down, Kurt. Here we go. Good pocket. Firing. He caught it. He caught it. He caught it. He's tackled in bounds. I would spike it. I would spike it so they can't review it. Spike it, spike it, spike it, spike it, spiked it. They spiked it. They can't review it. Now, I don't know if he caught that, but I would have spiked it immediately just the way Kirk did in case. Yeah, I know. That's a clean catch. Now, what is the flag? Wow. The offside penalty on top of it on Tampa Bay, so they're going to be 5 yards closer. He missed a 45-yarder that would have tied the game. He's 8 for 13 on game-winning field goals. That's not good. They need to make this like a 25-yard field goal. Kyle Pitts has been your guy all day. You got to get Kyle Pitts or Bijan Robinson the ball. And they're going to give it to Darnell Mooney. And Mooney's going to pick up 6 or 7 and get out of bounds. Atlanta may not have much to play for, being eliminated from the playoffs, but Kirk Cousins does. If he still sees himself as somebody that has more left in the tank, Jinja, he mentioned it earlier, the Achilles injury. You're never yourself. Look at how much Aaron Rodgers looks better this year than last. I don't think he got a fair shot. And now they're going to just run the ball, and Bijan's going to just get to the line. That's an interesting call because you have to spike it now. And I don't think I would have been content with that field position. Why not try to get the ball to the 20 and help out your kicker? And they're going to spike the ball, and Kirk Cousins said, hey, I did everything I could. I put you all the way down to the 20. Go out there and make the damn kick. Cue Sean Payton. I don't know if you saw that when Will Lutz was coming out to make the game-winning kick, and Sean Payton said, hey, and he looked over and he goes, right through. And then the kicker's like, I got you. Mike Evans is freaking out on the sideline. He is livid, absolutely livid. And here we go. And we're going to get a timeout from Tampa Bay. And it's time to ice the kicker. The question is it going to work? They used to do this right before the kicker kicks it. So even if it's good, he has to do it again. This time, he just calls the timeout before the kick. What a game this has been. Atlanta is going to miss the field goal. And you know what? I wouldn't be shocked. If he leads this comeback and doesn't go into the locker room screaming, you like that, I'm going to be disappointed. You already know he's going into the locker room like that. And it all comes down to this kicker right here. Mayfield can't look at the screen. He's sick to his stomach. Here we go. Snap, hold, kick is good. Atlanta wins. Wow. And Panther fans are in the driver's seat in the NFC South. Wow. And when Atlanta and Tampa Bay play on Thursday night, especially a Kirk Cousins game, it doesn't get any better than this. Wow. 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 What? What about Kyle Pitts tonight? How about Kyle Pitts tonight? How about Kyle Pitts tonight, man? 3 touchdowns. And Kirk Cousins said, just give me a chance and I will win you a game. And the defense did what they had to do. Kirk Cousins got the ball back. And Raheem Morris saying you like that? Does it get any better than that? This is incredible. This game, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers still on the bench looking down. And look, you would think this is a playoff loss just if you just looked at Tampa Bay. But you have to realize that Tampa Bay's now lost 6 of their last 7 games after people had them as the best team in the NFL week 4. And they just got some of their players back. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin last week. Like, this is a team just starting to get healthy, and look, the season is not it is far from over. And I think that has to be the message if you're Todd Bowles. Looking at your players, they look so defeated. You gotta build these guys up and be like, look, we got a lot of football left. All right. Carolina winning the rest of their games. It's going to be kind of hard to do when they play us in one of them, right? But Baker Mayfield walking off the field. Jinja knew they were coming back. Jinja thinks the Broncos and Panthers Super Bowl plus 1,600 still in play. And you know what? It will be in play for quite a while. If my plan comes true, that the Panthers win the division. He just took a big dump on everyone that's been talking about him not panning out. That's awesome. Evans needs out. At this point, brother, you gotta just say, like, Evans is retiring a Tampa Bay Buc. It doesn't happen very often, but when a receiver gets to this point in his career, it's just not worth it. Changing, your kids are in school, you're getting older, uprooting the family to go to a new city to learn a new system, to kids to make new friends. It's just not happening, in my opinion. Mike Evans is going to retire a Buc, and it's going to be one of the great stories of a guy that never left home. And, credit Tampa Bay for, paying this guy when it was time to re-up and, doing right by him and his family. And I think that respect is mutual as far as, their relationship's concerned. But, man, if anybody is to blame for this loss, it's hard not to blame Baker Mayfield because of that interception, that led to the Kyle Pitts touchdown. That should have never happened, and it was a pretty egregious interception. And that was really, man, I mean, it was like this game that changed was because of a turnover. That's how important turnovers are. You had a moment in the game where the Bucs are up by 7, and Atlanta had to punt it to the Bucs, and I thought, this is a big moment in the game because if the Bucs score, they're going to take a 2-possession lead going into the fourth quarter. And Atlanta did their job, and they stopped them, got the ball back, but then, unfortunately, a turnover. And because of the turnover, which I believe was a Bijan Robinson fumble, yes, Bijan Robinson fumbles the ball, and then the Bucs score right away. Chris Godwin gets a touchdown. And it's like, wow, there it is. Now they're up 2 possessions. But Atlanta able to score, and then when they got the ball back and needed to score again, they couldn't. But then the Bucs throw an interception, and Atlanta's able to score. So every turning point of this game was a fumble or an interception, but some kind of turnover. A turnover was the reason the Bucs pulled ahead, and a turnover was the reason the Bucs ended up losing the game. It's the circle of life. You don't want to win. You don't want to turn over the ball if you want to win. I mean, just look at the win-loss record for teams that lose the turnover battle. I mean, if you just look at team turnover margin per game, all right? The team that has the worst turnover margin per game is the New York Jets. The New York Jets. Then the Minnesota Vikings. Then the Washington Commanders. Those are three teams that have like 3 wins each, something like that. Tennessee, New Orleans. But then look at the teams that have been getting the most turnovers. So Chicago, this is like the thing Chicago's been doing more than anybody, is getting takeaways. Now their defense isn't great as far as like total yards allowed or rushing yards allowed, or total defense. Like Chicago's total defense, Chicago's 27th, right? But the fact that they are the best team in the NFL at producing takeaways is why they've won so many games. Because Chicago, if they weren't producing the takeaways they're producing, would be a 5-6 win team right now. Just calling it how it is. But yeah, you got to give them credit that they've been so good at getting those takeaways. And then Houston, number 2. And we know, like, Houston's one of the rare teams that is taking the ball away, and their total defense, passing defense, and running defense this is like historical how good this Houston defense is, but their offense is so subpar it doesn't matter. And then you got the Rams, and then Tampa's 4th. So Tampa, they don't typically lose the turnover battle. They're pretty good at not giving the ball to the other team, but today, unfortunately, it cost them the game. Rest of them boys don't know how to win. It's like he's the only part of that winning culture left there, as you could tell. He was the one that was visibly mad. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chris Godwin, I would say, has been with him for a while, too. It reminds me of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Keenan Allen's Mike Evans. Mike Williams is Chris Godwin. That's like a pretty good comp. Like 2 guys that have been in the same team for a while and been through a lot. One of them that, gets injured a ton, Chris Godwin, Mike Williams. Evans is a lifelong Buck. He's not leaving. Rest of them boys don't know how to win. Well, he should just retire. And here's the thing. I said this in the offseason. I traded Mike Evans for Lamar Jackson before the season started. And the reason was because I thought Mike Evans was going to have a down year. And I didn't predict the injury necessarily, but the reason I thought that was because I saw an interview with him in the offseason, and somebody went up to him and was like, "Hey, Mike," like super excited, like a young reporter, that's like, I get to talk to Mike Evans, like his first day here. And Mike Evans was just like a dark, stormy cloud. He's like, what have you been doing this offseason? How does it feel to be back? And he's like, good. He's like, how's this offseason been going? What have you been doing? And he's like, the same thing I do every offseason. I do the same thing every offseason. And like, I get it. Like as a football player, it's like, you guys know what I do in the offseason. Like I train really hard. I don't eat anything that's bad for me. But at the same time, like Mike Evans through his whole career has been able to we all have that voice inside of us. You know what I mean? That if we told you how we really feel, it would be bad. Like humans, it's necessary to suppress some of that. It reminds me of the robot in Interstellar when he goes, what's Case? I think his name is Case. What's your true setting? And he goes, 95%. And he goes, 95%. Why not 100? And he goes, I found that 100% truth isn't the most effective way to communicate with emotional beings. And I'm like, isn't that the damn truth? So I get it. Like, but the fact that Mike Evans is actually saying that stuff, I'm like, I don't see a guy that loves the game. Like I'm projecting. I am. But when I saw that interview, I thought Mike's getting very close to retiring with a lot left in the tank, might I add. I don't think Mike Evans is, I think it's going to be like a Calvin Johnson type, not as intense, right? Calvin Johnson retired with like a decade on the table. But I do think Mike Evans is going to retire with like 4 years of, like making a real impact type of football left, because I just didn't see somebody, and who knows, maybe he just had a bad day. Maybe someone pissed him off right before that interview, and I shouldn't take so much from just one moment. But I did, and I traded him. And, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see Mike Evans even next year. To me, it's an unknown. He re-signed that contract. Right now, he's playing on a 2-year, $52 million deal that he signed in March of 2024, which makes him a free agent at the end of this year. And I don't know if Mike Evans plays another season. I think he might hang it up at the end of this one. Two of them, Kyle. The Panthers and Bucs haven't played this season yet. Oh, they're playing two of them. Okay. No, I put $4 to win 1,600. Damn, Mike Evans is a Ring of Famer. He's even got the Bucs, the Bucs to a Super Bowl. That interception was bad, but the defense gave up 4th and 14. Very true, very true. I just think at the end of the day, like, you're the quarterback, you got to take the blame. That's just the way it has to be, because you don't throw the interception there, Atlanta doesn't come back into this game. And maybe it wasn't the reason, but it was the turning point of the game. Giving up 4th and 14 is unacceptable. And Andre Johnson was also a live dude. So many wide receivers leave late in their career. I actually got to meet Andre Johnson because my dad worked as a golf pro, and the guy he worked with, his name was Ryan Walter. His brother, Kevin Walter, played for the Texans. So because of that, I got to, because they play, well, this was in Jacksonville, but the Texans play in Jacksonville every year. So every Jaguars game, I was like behind the gate where the fans are, actually like walking around meeting my idols. And this was the age where I wasn't so much like as an adult, I don't really care about other players and getting their autograph. Like some fans are like, look at this autograph I got in Mike Evans. I'm not like against it by any means. It's just something shifted, and I don't know when it happened. When I was a kid, I had a Edgerrin James jersey. I had a Palomalu jersey. I had a Steve McNair jersey. I wore jerseys of other teams, and I thought it was, and one of my favorite running backs was Jamal Lewis. When I was at this age, like being behind the gate and meeting Andre Johnson, I was like, I remember thinking to myself, I thought you were bigger. Andre Johnson's not a big guy. And I remember telling this story, and I looked it up, and I saw he was like 6'2". I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. I think he's a very small 6'2". Like, he does not look 6'2", 6'3". He didn't look it. But it's funny because he had a very distinct face. Like, I didn't need someone to tell me, like, this is Andre Johnson. Like, I knew who I was looking at. They had some really good tight ends there that year. My dad got to play pool with their tight end. Texans. I'm trying to remember his name. I'm blanking. It's like not Schultz. This was like 2007-ish. Owen Daniels. Lifelong Texans. Lifelong Texans. Every receiver is a lifelong whatever until they go 14 different places in 2 years. Very true. People don't realize the best wide receiver ever the Denver Broncos ever had, Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice can leave San Francisco. I mean, anyone can leave anywhere. All I'm saying, true. But it used to be different. Like, Brett Favre being a Viking. One of the things that that didn't happen in the 80s. Like if you were a Steeler, you were a Steeler. Like there wasn't like, oh well, I'm gonna go here. Like if you played for the Packers, you can't go look at just the running backs in the NFC North. It's like they played Russian roulette or whatever with the running backs or musical chairs. That people that are like, oh, I watched football in the 60s and 70s. It's like unfathomable that a Packer would become a Bear or a Bear would become a Packer. But that's not our generation. Like now these guys jump around a bunch. But that's why I think it's so refreshing when you see one player that's like, and the fact that Tom Brady left New England, Peyton Manning left Indianapolis, it's like Russell Wilson left. Ben Roethlisberger is probably the last guy to stay for his whole career. I mean, even in the early 2000s, late 90s, you had who was Joe Montana go to the Chiefs, I believe it was. Yeah. And it just that kind of I think Troy Aikman was a Cowboy forever. Air McNair is a badass jersey pull. Andre Johnson was a bad dude. Remember that? He did, Ginger. And you remember that fight he got into with that Tennessee Titans quarterback? He's like a light-skinned dude. Gosh, what was his name? Gosh. What is the guy's name? Cortland Finnegan, yeah. Dude, I was like, why aren't we trying to call Andrew Luck Phillip Rivers? I'll tell you why, because Andrew Luck looks like Matthew McConaughey in the Dallas Buyers Club. Respectfully, like what? I would rather my quarterback look a little bit overweight, and be like, yeah, but can you pull off some backyard football shit? Can you just like Ben Roethlisberger just kind of bumble around and fucking throw it? But we can't have you looking like you've had AIDS for the last 3 years. Oh, dude. Oh, man. I could not recognize him. The first time I saw him, I thought to myself, oh my God, I thought he quit playing football for his health. I expected him to look amazing. Like, oh, I care so much about my health, I'm giving up millions of dollars. I'm like, did he die? And this is like a stunt double, like the Avril Lavigne rumor? Because there's no way that this fucking guy, there's no way. You're telling me oh my God, these ads are fucking annoying. Jeez, why does everything have to be a fucking ad? Jeez. Can something just not be an ad? They do make him look a lot better in these pictures, believe it or not. Jesus Christ, dude, he looks like he's been on that meth diet or something. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. But remember, he's also a Stanford guy. And people that are like ridiculously smart look like this. You know, they go bald, they're kind of like quirky, they maybe go a little too long without showering. You know, it's just, I don't know. To me, he looks like a smart guy because he doesn't look edgy enough for meth. You know what I mean? Like, there's a little bit of like when you see a guy in meth, you're like, there's a little like that is not that is a shadow of the person that used to be there. But that guy, like Andrew Luck, when you hear him talk, like he's still like fully there. So it's not. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I don't know if when he retired for football for health reasons, did anybody consider that maybe he had secretly a health issue that was never disclosed? Now, this became a big conspiracy. And if you look on Reddit, I ran into somebody that knows Andrew Luck because their friend is best friends with his wife. And she swears that Andrew Luck was battling a disease. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. No, I think now I remember. I think that girl wasn't talking about him being sick. I think she was saying that he talks about coming back to the NFL. But it's crazy. Like when you see, Andrew Luck, like the injury he had when he went through rehab, there's pictures of him like after going through the rehab process, and he looks like a linebacker. He looks like an undercover cop or an old sheriff that's drunk or something. Yeah, doesn't he? He does. Like if I ran into him, I would. Here's the thing. If I ran into him at the grocery store, you know what I would say to him? I wouldn't say, Andrew Luck, it's so great to meet you. I'm a huge fan. I would say, has anybody ever told you that you look just like Andrew Luck? But not in the way people do when they're talking to the celebrity, and it's like, you're an idiot. That looks exactly like him. Like it looks like somebody that looks like Andrew Luck. I mean, this right here, this is what Andrew Luck looked like when he came. This is what Andrew Luck. Oh my! This is what he looked like coming out of rehab. He looks like a linebacker. He looks like a linebacker. Okay. I mean, I can't believe it. Imagine if he would have been healthy, dude. Imagine that. But if I were a Colts fan, I'd be like, dude, what the hell? I thought you left because you were focusing on your health. This is the most unhealthy I've seen you. But wow, what a game. What a game. Unfortunately, Baker Mayfield couldn't throw for more than 20 yards in the fourth quarter. That's annoying. But we did get Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins to combine for 450 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. I put $25 on that and won $95. Luckily, I was able to cover my bets late in the game because I put $40 on the Falcons to win, which would end up actually winning me $100 on top of that. So I won $200 in those 2 games and lost about 120, probably somewhere around there. But I got my account at 389.89, and I haven't added any money to it. I just keep betting with what's in it. If Bucky Irving would have scored a fucking touchdown today, I would have had my account up to like $1,000 because I legitimately had multiple bets. By the way, the other thing is Bijan Robinson and Bucky Irving both couldn't get the 5 yards in each quarter because Bucky Irving ended up losing fucking 4 yards. And let's see, I still have some bets that are open, it's saying. No, they're all closed. Let's see, Bucky Irving. Yeah, Bucky Irving touchdown. Look at that. By the way, breaking news that we were talking about earlier with TJ Watt. Here's the latest. He spent the last 24 hours in the hospital. He was there for all of Thursday. Little details. Alex Highsmith spoke to TJ Watt, and Ian Rappaport spoke to Alex Highsmith, and Alex Highsmith apparently said everything seems to be all right. That's good. That's good news. My dad just said that's what no longer I'm working out and getting pussy whipped does to you. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Whatever makes me look like that, I don't want it. Or banging dudes can make you look like that too. I'm just kidding. All right, let me get off here. Big video coming with Philip Rivers. Look, there's nothing like this on YouTube. I have dug in not only to find what Philip Rivers has been doing with his life, but I've taken those videos and I've edited them. I've put music in the background. I've created my own videos to go along with my video. So when I am talking about Kirk Cousins, you know, in like what he was doing, it's going to be, let me go ahead and pull it up here and give you an example of how it's going to be. Here we go. 648, I got that. Yep, got that. And completion percentage. Got all that. Here it is. And Messenger, Kyle Kitzman. Here we go. You're going to love this, Jinja. So this is a video file. I made this video just for my Phillip Rivers video. Just for the Phillip Rivers video. Here it is.
It's not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. Perfect. It's not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship to yourself and your family and your friends. Being perfect is about being able to look your friends in the eye and know that you didn't let them down because you told them the truth. And that truth is that you did everything that you could. There wasn't one more thing that you could have done. Can you live in that moment as best you can with clear eyes and love in your heart, with joy in your heart? If you can do that, gentlemen, then you're perfect.
Wow. I mean, it just like, it still gets me, not because, you know, I think the biggest thing is like Phillip Rivers, you know, he knows what it's like. This is a guy that's fallen short in the playoffs, never made it to a Super Bowl. And now here he is like seeing his own kids, which is, you know, the closest manifestation of a reflection of yourself. And you see yourself in them, but instead of being sad with them, you have to stand tall, you have to be strong and be strong for them. And that's what he's doing. You know, he's going through all those players and, you know, he's being strong for them. And he's telling them, you know, you got a lot of football left. Hey, you gave them hell. And now, 9 days later, all of those players, a man that they've looked up to but never really got to appreciate, aside from YouTube highlights, they're all going to be sitting at home watching their head coach. Like, dude, 9 days ago, me and this guy, he was telling me everything was going to be all right. Now he's going against the Seahawks. Like, imagine what those kids must feel like with Phillip Rivers, like, going back to the NFL. It's the greatest sports story of my life, arguably. It's never happened before. And people are saying, oh, this is so dumb. Shut up. What are you talking about? This is the greatest thing in the history of NFL, and you're mad about it? Like, do you even like football? Because this is what every single kid in the world since they were a little kid has thought, I wonder if John Elway just said, fuck it, I'm coming back for one more. I've thought this about Brett Favre for the last 15 years. Like, what if he just like, was like, you know what? I'm going to do something no one's ever done. I'm going to come back for this. It's actually happening. Nobody's ever done this. And there's been, guys come out of retirement, to play, but there's never been this long of a hiatus. And then that guy comes back to play. It's never happened. And I'm extremely excited, which I'm actually going to go into that video right now. But, this, let me see if I can. I have a lot of stuff. Phillip Rivers needs 648 passing yards to pass Ben Roethlisberger in passing yards. Right now, Phillip Rivers is in 7th. Ben Roethlisberger's in 6th. And Aaron Rodgers is still playing, but, depending on how well Phillip Rivers does or how long he goes, he could pass Aaron Rodgers as well. And here's the other thing. If I'm just saying, like, what if Phillip Rivers looked really good? And people are like, well, he didn't look good last time he was playing. That's not really true. Now, look at this. These are the quarterbacks that have started for, I made this as well. I made everything I'm going to show you, but this is, these are all the quarterbacks that have played a season for the Colts since Phillip Rivers. Daniel Jones is the only one to have a 68 completion percentage. Matt Ryan was second closest. 47.7, 62.2, 62.4. So we got, and then that's where I made this as well. This is completion percentage. This is right now, and basically these highlighted quarterbacks are the only quarterbacks that have played a full season, which means there's only 5 quarterbacks that have a better completion percentage than Phillip Rivers had the last time we saw him. And cool enough, Daniel Jones has the exact same completion percentage as Phillip Rivers, 68, and Daniel Jones gave Phillip Rivers the okay to wear the jersey number he's been wearing all year, number 17, to Phillip Rivers, so he could wear 17 for the remainder of the year. The guy that had the same completion percentage as him. There's just so much about this story that's so cool. This is passing yards. He's got the most passing yards of any quarterback since Phillip Rivers left the Colts. Nobody's, gone over 4,000 or necessarily got close to it. But I'll save it for the video. But it's going to be a cool one. And as a kid, you would die for that dude if he was your coach. Absolutely, dude. He's the best quarterback we've had since Luck. Well, and Jones this year, I guess. Yeah, for sure. And I think even if Phillip Rivers goes out there and just shits the bed, I don't care. It's awesome and it's fun. And you know what? You know what I wasn't excited for? Who the fuck the backup quarterback is for the Colts? You know who wasn't being talked about? You know what game was not a must-watch television? Whoever the backup is for the Colts, that nobody gave a shit about that game. I'm just being real with you because of that quarterback. If Daniel Jones was still playing, that would have been the game of the week. But with the injury, it turns into whatever. Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement, potentially starting Sunday, makes that game probably the most watched football game of the year. The only reason it won't be is because it's not on prime time. This is a great move because the Colts were like, hey, if we're going to go down, you know what I mean? Like, we're going down this year now. we're going to go down filling out seats and entertaining our fans. And we're going to give them a story. We're going to give them something. And that is the owner's job, is to make sure that your fans always have something to believe in. And how hard is it to do at this time of the year when your starting quarterback goes down, and they accomplished it? So I give them a lot of credit, and I'm excited. I don't even care what it looks like. I hope as well. I put a bet in for Philip Rivers, and I couldn't believe it. It's a joy that I can even place this. Like, I can really place this bet. This is hilarious. It's Philip Rivers, 200 passing yards. Sam Darnold, 3 passing touchdowns. JSN touchdown. Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Tyler Warren touchdown. Philip Rivers, 2 passing touchdowns to win $463, $5. I'm excited. I'm feeling glamorous of like, okay, this is kind of cool now, I guess. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make that video. I worked hard. I was gonna do it the other night, and I ended up spending like 4 hours on the thumbnail. And this is the thumbnail right here. So this is what it looks like, the thumbnail. So we got Philip Rivers returns. We have Daniel Jones holding the Lombardi with Super Bowl champion shirt, but it's cracked, symbolizing the broken dream. Multi-year contract, question mark. Where do the Colts go with Daniel Jones from here? Out for season. And then you got the man with unfinished business. Can he do it? You got the phone and the moment Philip Rivers signed on the iPhone, and Philip Rivers holding the Lombardi. I hope you guys like it. But that video is going to be starting in 12 minutes. I hope to see you guys there. If not, thank you for watching Thursday Night Football with us. Jinja, everybody, you guys have been awesome. I will see you guys in just a little while. And as always, this one's for Bill.